Hi, art friends. Today we'll be using the work of an illustrator to inspire us for our piece that we'll complete this week for our art projects. An illustrator is the person who provides the images for a book. You can probably think of lots of different books that you like, and maybe some where the pictures are your most favorite parts. Pictures in a book are drawn by an illustrator. They're illustrating the story. The pictures are to help you imagine all of the different things that the author who writes the story is describing. The story I want to share with you is called In My Heart, and it's a favorite story of mine and my family's. It was written by Joe Whittick, and our illustrator is Christine Rusi. As I'm reading the story, I want you to listen to the words, listen to the message, but also look at all of the really special illustrations. In My Heart, a Book of Feelings by Joe Whittick and Christine Rusi. My heart is full of feelings, big feelings and small feelings, loud feelings and quiet feelings, quick feelings and slow feelings. My heart is like a house with all these feelings inside. Sometimes my heart feels like a big yellow star, shiny and bright. I smile from ear to ear and twirl around so fast. I feel as if I could take off into the sky. This is when my heart is happy. Other times, my heart feels strong. I stand up tall as if I can touch the clouds. New people and places don't frighten me. I can do it. Watch me go. This is when my heart is brave. When I get really angry, my heart feels as if it's going to explode. Don't come near me. My heart is yelling, hot and loud. This is when my heart is mad. Boom! But other times, my heart is cool. I bob along gently like a balloon on a string. My heart feels lazy and slow, as quiet as the snowfall. This is when my heart is calm. On harder days, mean words hurt my feelings, and my heart, it feels hurt too. It's fragile and delicate, but it can be healed with extra kisses. This is when my heart is broken. Some days, my heart feels as heavy as an elephant. There is a dark cloud over my head, and tears fall like rain. This is when my heart is sad. But my heart doesn't stay sad. Like springtime after winter, the sun comes out again. My heart grows tall like a plant reaching toward the sky. This is when my heart is hopeful. Eek! Ooh, when I see something scary, my heart beats fast. I feel cold as if a chilly breeze has crawled up my neck. and I run away as fast as I can. This is when my heart is afraid. When it's time for a little bit of fun, my heart feels full of giggles and wiggles. Abracadabra, I hop around like a bouncy bunny. This is when my heart is silly. Sometimes I hide my heart away where no one can see, like my own small treasure. I don't want anyone to look at me. Safe on my swing, I can watch the world from up above. This is when my heart is shy. My heart can feel so many feelings, and yours can too. Today, my heart is proud. How does your heart feel? The end. This is the page that gave me the inspiration for our art for this week. We all feel all different types of feelings, and they change all the time. All the things that we feel are okay. Sometimes we're happy and sometimes we're proud. Sometimes we get angry too. Today we're going to take inspiration from this piece, and we're going to draw ourselves a garden. We're going to fill it with trees and plants and flowers, and we're going to color it in. Let's make our garden a happy place and a calm place, and the type of space you might want to go to if you're not having the best day, but a space that will help cheer you up. I love Christine Rusi's illustrations here. She repeats some of the same trees, but changes a few of the details. She uses repeating lines and shapes to create patterns. And all of the lovely little hearts help send that happy message. So think about what plants are growing in your garden. All right, let's get started to sketch together. You're going to need your sketchbook and a pencil. And as you're sketching, I want you to practice 2 or 3 different plants or flowers or trees on each page. We'll practice a couple together. I'm going to do mine work on larger paper with a Sharpie so you can see more clearly what I'm drawing. But again, your practice should happen in your sketchbook with a pencil. So remember, we're looking at Christina Rusi's In My Heart little garden here. And we're going to practice drawing some of her different plants and trees together now before you create your own little garden. Everything that we draw, it's just a collection of lines. Some of those lines will close up together to create shapes and spaces. But the simple line is how we make everything. Let's start with one of her trees. Starting at the bottom of your paper, come up and make like a rectangle shape. That's the shape that she makes for the trunk of her tree. Then from the top, a nice round circular shape for the top of the tree. She also creates tree branches or additional leaf shapes with kind of an oval shape that's sticking out from the tree. For this one, let's finish it off using some simple lines, a straight one through the middle, and then some diagonal lines to show the texture of the leaves. We'll repeat that all the way through. There's our first little tree. She also makes lots of little hearts in her tree as well. Maybe right here we'll make a little oval, like it's a little squirrel hole, or where some little raccoon family might live in my tree. Okay, so that's one of the ways that she makes her trees. And each tree could be different. It could be a shorter or taller and skinnier for the trunk. And for some of hers, instead of showing the individual leaves, she shows the individual branches. So let's draw one more tree, and this time we'll make it a little bit different. One of the ways we can make our art look extra special is by showing a good amount of variety. So we're repeating another tree, but we'll make a few detail changes to add variety to our different trees. So let's make this one maybe a little skinnier and taller. Like that one, we will give a nice round tree shape at the top. But instead of showing leaf details, let's show some branch details. So I'm going to bring 2 lines up into my tree, and then off each of these lines I'll add some other little lines that come out to show the different branches. Maybe we can draw a little semicircle to be a little bird nest in our tree. And then we'll add some other branches off the trunk of our tree too. Okay, so we drew 2 trees in a very similar way, but with different details to give variety. All right, let's work on some different shapes. Those are 2 trees. Let's maybe draw things more like bushes of some kind for our piece. The first one I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of make an arch, a nice arced line here. She decorates hers in a similar way to the other ones. Some with diagonal lines all the way through. Okay, but we can make another one where we focus on the branches. And you don't have to put hearts everywhere, but I think they're awfully cute. And I think they help make this a very peaceful place. So those are the two very similar styles to the two types of trees. So you have repeating elements in your work. But we can make other ones. And do you notice how each time I'm making one, I make it a different size for that variety, even though it's the same kind of arced shape. For this one, I'm going to do a different type of line from Miss Roosie's little garden of feelings, just by putting a line with a little circle at the end. So see, that one is like that. We made one like this. We made one like that. So those are kind of three little bush type trees. She also made another one that's way in the back. It's in the background. We know it's in the background because there's other things in front of it. This one is kind of like a circle on a little stump. And she did stripes for the stump. And then little dashed and dotted lines to give a texture for this bush. I really like her little bird nest, so I'm going to add a bird nest in this one too. They're just little dashed and dotted lines help create the different texture feelings of our different bushes. Okay, our last bit of practice, let's practice some flowers to go in our garden. We practiced trees and bushes, and now let's practice some different flowers. Some of her flowers use a similar shape to her trees. Maybe not quite as big though. So we'll make that kind of rectangle base from the bottom of our paper and that circle at the top. But now we'll use that semicircle or scallop type line to create some petals around our flower. We can add some other little details with different lines to again help with texture. Some of her flowers are tall, but simple, with some leaves going down the stem. And again, using that similar diagonal and straight line to create the texture and details for the leaves. We could even add some little lines around the outside of our little flower here. You could create lots of small flowers too, and these would maybe go in the front of your piece. You could create some little leaves that go off them, little dots for petals, little hearts on the inside. These last two, she uses leaf shapes to create plants. So that's a very simple leaf shape. Okay, our last one is another familiar leaf shape that combines kind of the end of some ovals. And create one of those free form or organic shapes all the way through. Again, use different lines to finish up. Turning your leaf shape into a little tree. We practice trees, bushes, and some flowers too. All very similar to Miss Rusey's work. Now, based on using some of the shapes and ideas she has here, draw a few of your own ideas to finish off your practice work for today.